Hello everybody and welcome back to Rise of the Tomb Raider Part 15. This should be our finale when it comes to the main story, and then we should be able to start up doing the mansion stuff. So the last time we left off, we were basically catapulting our, trebucheting our way through the Lost City here. And the Deathless Ones have basically been after us. And now Trinity has just arrived, fucking everything up. And now we're making our way up here. Here's the last relic. I was hoping we were going to find this on the way.
Ivory tusk with delicate carvings. Something unusual about the pattern. It's a map. It shows a path through the mountains to Katesh. Could have used this earlier.
This looks kind of like a drinking horn as well. You can drink out of this. Well, there we go, and we got all the, we got everything except for the survival caches. We also did all the challenges last time as well, which was a surprise. Here we go, shuffling around. Oh dear. Go. Okay, once again, we gotta fire some arrows into this wall. Alright, so now we have a new camp, which we're just going to rest at for just a sec here. There's all the Deathless Ones down there. Oh god. Look at them all. They're all T-posing. Bye-bye. Dear God, can you imagine having to do this? Why? Shot him a billion times. They all fighting.
Anna.
There they go. Right there.
I see you, Lara. We'll do whatever we can to support you from here.
Thank you,
Sounds
Sophia.
good.
I'll take whatever help I can get.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Sophia. Hell of a shot.
Just loot all these guys. Whatever I can take. Oh, there's dudes back here as well. Alright, so yeah, here we are at the point of no return. There are no base camps beyond this point. Fast travel and player upgrades will not be possible past this location until the story is completed. So yeah, this is the last base camp, basically, as in with like the last game. There's a last base camp essentially. Alright. So yeah, basically this is like the point now that if you want to get stuff, you know, like all your survival caches, you want to go get other things, basically this would be the time to do it. You can go back, you know, like if you want to go to Acropolis. Yeah, so this would basically be the time to go back, get everything, get all the rest of the stuff that you can buy, everything. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to continue forward. We've pretty much gotten everything that we want to get. We are missing a few documents and stuff from the main story. Like I said, we did not go back through the flooded archives. There's one document missing there. There's one relic that we missed, and one mural. With the Acropolis, we missed 2 documents. Let's see here. We missed 1 document at the research base. All the documents in the Wicked Veil were for the DLC, so those really didn't matter all that much. But yeah, I mean, we missed just a little bit, you know, that we didn't get. But really, I'm not going to go back and waste your time with trying to find them, you know. You know, we're part 15. We really kind of want to get to the end of the story so we can do the epilogue, the mansion mission.
All squads, I have a visual on Croft. She must not be allowed into the Chamber of Souls.
Constantine. My weapon's of no use against that chopper. Oh, missed. Get ready, Sophia. Let's try it again.
Give us time, Lara. We're reloading. We're not going to be able to hit him from here.
I know. I've got to shoot the fireball in the air. Get ready. Let's try again.
We're loading up the trebuchet. Hold on. We're ready to launch the trebuchet.
Let it fly!
The signal. Oh my God, it's worked! You did it!
It's not over
we go.
yet. Get ready to fire another shot.
Ugh, damn it! Send in a squad, now! I want her dead! not dead! That's your last order!
Lara, we're under attack! We're trying to get rid of this son of a bitch!
You've got to get out of there!
No, we're in this fight to the end!
Let's do some for you.
Lara, he's headed back your way! We're reloading the treasure safe! Hold on! We're ready to fire!
Let it fly!
Alright, here goes!
Fuck you, Constantine. Oh. There's the deathless ones down here. Oh, god damn it. He took my fucking bow!
Just you and I now, Lara. You have no weapons, no allies, no hope. This place will become your tomb. Stay still. Come fight me. Don't hide in the shadows. You're made of stronger stuff than your friends. The smoke. Ah! watching from the shadows.
Fuck you, bud. No, my shit back.
It's not my destiny. I was meant for greatness.
This was never your destiny. Your sister let you believe that.
I did all of this for her. Don't you walk away from me. Wait! Trinity
Bye.
killed your father.
No, you're lying.
He begged for his life. When that failed, he begged for yours.
Go fuck yourself, Constantine.
Burn in hell.
Alright. Let's get out of here.
Anna! Stop! Your men are defeated. Your brother is dead. No! That's what Trinity has wrought. Death. And that's all they'll ever bring. Give this up.
I gave up everything for this. I have no intention of giving it to Trinity.
What about your father? You're dooming him to be mocked by history. How can you let this go? When you're so close?
It's not ours to
I'm
take.
willing to make that sacrifice. I can't let you take it.
Think of the millions suffering and dying. We can save them. We can change the world. Together.
The cost is too high, Anna. We aren't meant to live forever. Death is a part of life.
That's easy for you to say. You're not the one who's dying.
But this isn't about you. This is about humanity, about protecting what it means to be human.
They're coming! We're surrounded!
Jacob, look out!
Oh no!
The source
Good thing he's immortal.
is not meant for the world!
This is your chance, Lara. Everything I've done, everything you've done. Another Croft doesn't have to die for this.
But I'm willing to.
Well, I'm not.
You idiot.
Please. I'm dying. This is my only hope.
Anna, no!
Haha.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Smashed it. Now the deathless ones are not so deathless.
Jacob, hold on.
I've held on for too long already.
You knew I'd destroy it.
In all my years, I've met few as extraordinary as you. It's finally happening. My ending.
I'm sorry. All I wanted was to make a difference.
You already have. You already have.
Bye, Jacob. All we are is dust in the wind. All we are is dust
My dearest
in
Lara,
the wind.
I often think about how my father would turn over in his grave if he knew the shame I had brought upon our family's name. Croft, what does it even mean? I just hope you can make your own mark on this world someday. Remember that the extraordinary is in what we do, not who we are.
Destroying the source was the right thing to do.
I still feel like I let him down.
I think you would have made the same choice. Come on. You've got a plane to catch.
I listened to his last tape 1,000 times, but it's as if I was hearing my father's words only now, for the first time. It doesn't matter what choices he would have made. I have to make my own. The myth of Katesh was real. There are secrets out there that can change the world. I need to find them, not for my father, not for anyone else. Trinity is still out there, and they're more powerful than I ever imagined. I can stop them. I can make a difference. I can make the right difference.
And there you go. That is Rise of the Tomb Raider, everybody. Well, that is the end of the main story anyway. And a little bit of the teases you saw there for the next game.
As I walk through frozen sand.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to skip that for the ending cutscene here, 2 weeks earlier.
Anna, you said another Croft doesn't have to die for this. What did you mean by that? You killed my father, didn't you? Trinity ordered his execution. I couldn't do it. You're lying! I loved him.
It's done. Good. What about Croft?
No. Not yet.
Sniper took her out. So there you go. Trinity still pulling the strings. So there you go. We destroyed the this divine source. So there are expeditions, of course. It's like the Prophet's Tomb, Real Wilderness, you know, stuff like that. These are expeditions you can do, and then we also have Croft Manor. So this. The expedition is Lara's Nightmare, but we're actually going to be doing the story, which is Blood Ties. So this actually takes place after the end of the main story and goes through the mansion for a little bit of an extra mystery. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start that as well. So there are documents and there are relics in this as well. Basically, this is kind of like a little adventure that we have inside of the Croft Manor, which takes place on a rainy night. We'll see if we can do this in one video. If not, we may have a shorter little extra video as well. Part 16, I guess we could say. But we should get it all done fairly quickly. This isn't like some big full-length game adventure type thing.
Final notice to Lara Croft, current tenant of premises. This is to serve as your final notice for the purposes of terminating your ownership of Croft Manor. You are required to immediately vacate and surrender possession of said manor to Atlas de Mornay, executor of estates.
Lard, it is unfortunate that you have forced my hand in this matter, but so be it. As you know, your parents appointed me executor of the estate in the event of their absence. Since your mother disappeared, her death was never technically declared. And given the circumstances surrounding your father's death, it's no surprise that he never drafted a formal last will and testament to account for this circumstance. Unfortunately, you have no legal claims to the estate. I'm willing to negotiate a modest monthly stipend from your trust, but only if you leave the manor by week's end. Don't fight me on this, Lara. Your mother wouldn't want that. Sincerely, Atlas.
There has to be a will or some kind of evidence of what happened to Mum in the manor somewhere. Dad's safe.
So yeah, basically, we have to get into the safe, which
Maybe
it's locked.
combination. It's got to be in Dad's papers somewhere. Maybe in the library. My birthday crown. I was so proud of that thing.
So
That's my handwriting. My penmanship was pretty good.
Treasure of the Ancients. There's all kinds of stuff around here that we can look at.
Dad would have liked me to go to Oxford, but I insisted on UCL. Yep, looks real. Roth once offered to forge me a fake diploma to show Dad.
Well, this is a hell of a thing.
So this is Lord Croft's journal's first impressions. Well, this is a hell of a thing. I met someone tonight, quite unexpectedly, but it shouldn't have been, it seems. I've been so buried in my work, so distracted by my latest revelations, I never bothered to notice my surroundings. But there she was, sitting at my table in the library. Her name is Amelia, and apparently she's been studying right next to me. Art history, of all things. I shared some of my research against my better judgment, but I wanted to see how she would respond. And she did not disappoint. I felt as if I was suddenly engaged in a mental game of chess, moving and counter-moving an argument. At one point, that poor old librarian had to shush us as if we were children. I feel so foolish for having not noticed her earlier. She's a brilliant woman who's challenged my ideas for the first time in memory. In truth, I don't know if she's feeling as exhilarated as I am right now, but I dare say our conversation was mutually stimulating. For the first time in a long time, I find myself thinking about something else besides my research. I hope she returns for another round tomorrow.
My parents made a good team, challenging each other
Obviously,
from the
when
start.
he met her mom for the first time. Alright, we have a little door here.
A picture with Dad and Anna. Never liked wearing dresses, but the color was nice. This is probably my grandfather, Benjamin.
Benjamin Croft.
I find
So this is Amelia's journals. I finally introduced Richard to the family. It went precisely how I imagined. Icy, but polite grace from mother, indifference and disinterest from father, and thinly veiled contempt from Atlas. Of course, they don't approve. To them, Lord Croft is the man who took away their beloved daughter and ruined her long-standing engagement. I was never going to marry that repugnant Earl of Farringdon anyway. One might think that they would be happy that I was being courted by a genuine lord of the realm. It It just happens to be Richard Croft. In their eyes, the man who single-handedly ruined a once great family. But there was nothing to be done now. Watching how Richard dealt with their subtle insults and disrespect, such grace and calm. I know he did it for me. I think I'm falling in love with this man. It will break my mother's heart, but I cannot live the life she imagined for me. My time with Richard has only made this clearer.
It must have been hard for Mum to go against her family's wishes. I'm glad she did. Dad's map of the forgotten cities of northern Syria. He was closer than he knew to finding the Prophet's tomb.
Another door here.
Dad's book about immortality myths might be useful in my research. One of Dad's Yoruba masks, a gift from a friend he met on an expedition in Nigeria.
Very old looking. Alright, so there's 54 relics, there's 40 documents, and there's 2 murals, basically, throughout this entire thing. We're going to be basically picking up.
The door to the library. Locked. There's got to be another way through. This is the map I made for my first expedition with Dad. It shows a path to the library through the servants' passages. Wait, I can get to the library through the old servants' corridor. Dad's artifacts from the Nile Valley. I always loved looking at these. Dad became interested in immortality myths after his expeditions to Egypt.
So, yeah, big ol' onk.
Too dark. Going to need a flashlight.
So this is messages asking about Mom. Hi, Dad. I've been thinking about Mom lately. I wish I knew more about her. How did you meet? What was she like? Winston told me she was a brilliant artist. Are some of her paintings locked up in the West Wing? And I guess I just want to know, did she love me, Dad? Did she ever say that she did? Maybe I'm just being silly, but will you tell me more about her the next time I'm home from school? Atlas de Mornay, clearance. Laura, I reviewed the report from your therapist. I have to say I was surprised to see a clean bill of health. I somehow doubt you've so easily abandoned your irrational claims. Indeed, where have you been the past few weeks? My secretary discovered that you booked a flight to Turkey on the 20th. You can't have been simply sightseeing, as your customs claims suggest. I know you're up to something, and I'll be damned if I let you use the Croft assets to indulge the same obsession that led to my sister's death. It's not too late to relinquish your claims on the manor voluntarily. If you refuse, I will find a way to cut you off. Sincerely, Atlas.
Well, hello there, Sir Lancelot. Don't worry, I won't be boring your sword this time.
Alright, here we go.
Grand hall. Always loved playing in here as a kid. This will be one of the first things to fix. A phoenix figurine. I bet this appealed to Dad's idea of immortality, of rising from the ashes and being born anew.
Oh dear.
This belongs to Anna. Most of her belongings are in the guest house. What was she doing in here? Someone has a sense of humor.
Stop smoking. So that needs the master key for us to get that.
Lara, you know the West Wing is off limits.
I'm sorry, I
Look,
just wanted to see.
need a key to open this.
Was Mum's room in here?
Then we need the master key to get to that part of the house as well. Also the master key for that.
Another one of Dad's immortality artifacts. I think
Ouroboros.
Roth bought this for him from a trader in Greece.
Atlas de Mornay, a subtle threat. Lara, since your return from your expedition to Yamatai, I've grown increasingly alarmed at your erratic behavior. I can only assume you've suffered some kind of psychological trauma and are only acting out as a call for help. I want you to know that I hear you loud and clear. Anna and I agree that it is time for you to be evaluated by a professional. I took the liberty of arranging an introduction to a highly qualified colleague of mine. You should be receiving the details in the post soon. I want to impress upon you the importance of this, Lara. As executor of the estates, it is my duty to see that it is left in capable hands. And, if I may be blunt, you're acting like your father when he was at his worst. He nearly lost the manor himself in those days. I'd hate for you to repeat his mistakes. I encourage you to embrace the help I'm offering. Sincerely, your uncle.
What are you doing sitting there on the floor, Mistress Lara?
Looking at the compass, thinking.
What about, if I may inquire?
Just thinking about discovering faraway places, about finding adventure.
I'm sure you will, my lady. You've the soul of an explorer. But don't grow up too fast.
Amelia's Journals, A Life of Possibilities. The offer came in the post last week, and I still haven't told Richard. He flew ahead to Tibet, where I'll meet him shortly. I've never told him I was submitting my work, never thought there was a chance of it being accepted, but a gallery tour is not something I can pass up. The show will take me away from England for over a year. I'll begin in New York and travel across the United States, and God, I'm giddy even writing those words. When Richard and I were married, I was prepared to relegate my painting to a hobby, but it was Richard who objected, who gave me my atelier and studio. Without that support, I might still be painting boring landscapes. Now I can't shake the foolish sensation that leaving would be a betrayal. He would laugh at that and insist that I accept, even though I know it will break his heart to be apart. He never once asked me to sacrifice any part of my life for his. I have, of course, in 1,000 small ways over the years, but he would never ask. The discussion can wait, and I will join him in Tibet. I won't cast a shadow over his find. I will be by his side in his triumph, as I know he will stand by my side in time.
I'm not sure. I really need to brush up on my ancestors one of these days.
Messages. A message to Jonah. Hey Jonah, sorry for not getting back to you sooner. I've decided to do some research at the manor. A lot has happened and I need some time to think about what to do next. This old place is filled with memories and secrets. Uncle Atlas has tried to keep me out of here for so long. I don't even know if I want to keep it, but after everything that's happened, maybe I can find out what it still means to me. If it's worth fighting him for. I'll let you know how things worked out when I'm back in London.
Got to remember to pack this for my next trip.
So here's the flashlight that we needed.
Should be able to explore the dark now.
So now we can go through here. Atlas de Mornay, a brother's warning. Amelia. The news has reached Mother. She knows that you broke off your engagement with the Earl of Farringdon. She is beside herself with worry, but for the moment she's controlling the narrative. As far as anyone knows, you're just having innocent second thoughts, but the moment your affair with Lord Croft goes public, it will be too late. Our name will be as ruined as this man you've chosen to bed. Don't you see that you're being selfish, Amelia? Please consider your family. You're a de Mornay. Everything you do has a greater effect on us all. I'm coming down to London soon. Don't do anything rash until we have a chance to talk. Alright. Oh dear.
Falling apart. Maybe I should just let my uncle have this place.
Lord Croft's journals, travels together. They say a good test of a relationship is how well you travel together. Well, I'd say Amelia and I have passed this test with flying colors. Indeed, these last few months in Egypt have been nothing short of extraordinary. She and Roth get on like old uni chums. In fact, the two have spent more than a few nights drinking and playing cards into the wee hours. Despite her decidedly proper upbringing, Amelia's taken to roughing it more than I ever have. She fits in and connects with the local populace with such amazing empathy. Because of her, I've had a bit of an unexpected breakthrough in my research. She managed to convince an artifact dealer in Old Town to sell me a magnificent and quite unusual Tibetan scroll. From what I can tell, it seems to contain details surrounding an immortality ritual of some sort. I think it's time for me to take the next step with Amelia. In fact, I don't think I can wait any longer. I will ask for her hand tomorrow, in the bright Egyptian sun amidst dust and ruins.
I'm not surprised he asked her to marry him as soon as he got the idea.
Give me the master key for that. Atlas de Mornay, a brother's plea. Amelia, I know we've had our differences in recent years. I've tried my best to keep an open mind about your relationship with Richard, but I just can't let you go on. I just can't let you go on this ill-conceived expedition without saying my piece. You say Richard's theories have merit. You say that he may have actually stumbled upon something some mythic unknown truth. But I have seen nothing to support such claims, and while your word may have been enough in times past, I cannot let you squander away what remains of your name and reputation. And that of our family, truth be told, on some damned foolish crusade. I intend to go to Richard's investors and let them know exactly how he's spending their money, and I wanted to give you a chance to put a stop to this yourself. Please, don't go to Tibet. If not for me, at least for Lara. So Alice really is not a fan of Crofts.
Still just as creepy as I remember.
Winston. My lord, I hope this missive finds you on a successful expedition and in good health. Before I bore you with the state affairs, I wanted to let you know that our little angel has been into some mischief. As always, I indulged her in our usual game of chess. Over the course of the game, she broached the subject of her mother. She's having trouble remembering her now and wanted to enter her ladyship's atelier, which she sealed off to play on her mother's piano. It enraged her when she wasn't allowed to go in, of course. For someone so young, she has such strong emotions. Later in the day, she set a trap for me, in the walk-in freezer of all places. Before I knew what was happening, I found myself locked inside. Mrs. Sheffield discovered me an hour later, shivering and somewhat peeved. It took us an additional hour to find Lara on the grounds. I know all her hiding places, of course, but this time she really did not want to be found. Call it years of observation, but I can tell when she's out of sorts. My lord, if I may be so bold, she misses you fiercely. She is lonely for her father. Please consider a call as soon as you are able.
Poor Winston. I remember being so angry. He was always so patient with me.
Right.
King to Queen 1. I'm going to win this time, Winston.
Clever girl. But you should know by now, winning isn't everything. Queen to King's Bishop 6. Check.
Easy for you to say. You always win. Knight takes Queen.
What I mean to say is try to enjoy the journey, Lara. Don't rush to victory. Bishop to King 7.
I know, Winston. I just want... Oh no! I didn't even see that!
You should also know by now, I'm not to be trifled with on this board, young lady. Mate.
Oh, I am going to win. Someday.
I would play chess with our old butler Winston on this board. Never could beat him. I always chose white. Maybe if I let him go first once in a while, I might have won.
Foldable chess set. There's a crowbar for that. Also for that. Amelia's journals. Decisions. I'm at a crossroads now. Good lord, that's such a cliche, but there's truth in it. Two roads before me, both present joy and compromise. A life with Richard, adventure, intellectual pursuit, perhaps a new family, but also a man obsessed with something I cannot understand, or a life of obligation. Upholding the De Mornay name, embracing our traditions, not losing the family that raised me. This really is a rubbish choice. I don't want to lose them, but I love the life I've started to build with Richard. He comes with his own difficulties, but I can accept them. Will it be enough? Winston, birthday expedition. Everything is almost ready for Mistress Lara's birthday expedition surprise. It's been a bit of an all-hands-on-deck effort organizing the affair and keeping it secret. She's obsessed with Egypt, memorizing hieroglyphs and ancient Egyptian districts. So she'll be delighted with what Lord Croft has come up with. This will be good for her. She's been acting up of late, and I know she's just craving more of her father's attention. He's been so buried in his research. It will be a nice moment for the two of them to reconnect, and I do believe he needs it as much as she does. Ah, yes. I need to pull this one out of the way from here. Okay, so now we've done that, we can go through here.
Dad loved a good bottle of wine. I can still smell his favorite Bordeaux.
Alright, so we have 16 of 54 relics, 14 of 40 documents, and 1 of 2 murals.
Dad, this is it! The basement of despair!
Indeed, Lara. Muster your courage, for this is the only path to the Library of Infinite Knowledge.
Look there! See the string?
An ancient Egyptian tripwire. The Keepers of Knowledge want none to disturb their treasures. We must tread carefully.
Let me lead. I know how to spot all the traps.
I'm sure you do, my darling. Lead on.
My stuffed bear. I couldn't have a tomb without a mummy.
course.
One of the wire traps Winston made for my birthday expedition. Winston used my hair ribbons to make this. He and Dad put a lot of work into this birthday surprise. Water damage from the main hall above.
Need the crowbar for this.
Plans for adding electricity to the manor. Dad used to say his granny hated all the bright lights. There's a missing page.
Lord Croft's journals, cracks in the foundation. Amelia left tonight. She packed her suitcase and walked right out of here, and I didn't even notice. Like those days in the Oxford Library before we even met. I just had my nose in a book, lost in my own world. I'm such a fool. I've let my obsession with this damned ritual of long life rule my better judgment for far too long. It may already be too late. How could I have not seen this coming? I've made this mistake over and over, always putting my research before my personal life. But it's never hurt like this before. I simply cannot live without her. If I have to give up this accursed quest that has plagued me for so long, then so be it. I'm going after her right now. Tonight. And there we go. So we're out here.
Okay, Dad's ledger has to be in here somewhere. Hopefully it has the combination to the safe.
Lord Croft's journals, invisible ink. I've created a clever little map for Lara's birthday expedition. I used the invisible ink Amelia picked up for me in Morocco so many years ago. At the time, I remember being so annoyed by that rather aggressive street vendor, but she just smiled in her sunny way and paid him without a second thought. I assumed it was just a tourist scam, but it actually works. Turns out it requires a very specific kind of vellum and a heat source to illuminate the ink after it's dried. It should prove a nice challenge for Lara to puzzle out.
One of Winston's notes. He always hid sweets for me to find.
Jaffa cakes next to William Blake.
I remember this now. Each district in ancient Egypt had a symbol and a number. I always preferred these symbols to the actual number hieroglyphs.
Now, let me see. These two myths are referencing the same source material. But where did I see this image?
Dad, I think it's this one, in the chapter on Egyptian districts.
Why, yes, I think you're right, Lara.
I remember the page with the illustration of Ra.
My goodness, you've been paying attention, haven't you? This could be an important breakthrough.
Does this mean I'm your research assistant?
That and more, my darling girl.
This was always one of my favorite books in this library. I used to trace hieroglyphs. Takes me back. Those were good times. The best times.
Lord Croft's journals, discoveries. I've reached the monastery. As Roth predicted, it was hidden deep in the Himalayas, and now that I'm standing on these high stone walls, I am overwhelmed by the sheer beauty of the mountains that surround me. It is simply breathtaking. But what adds to their spiritual majesty is the truth of this place. The monks welcomed me, as is their way, but they seemed to expect me. They must have known someone like me would eventually come seeking answers. I know this is the place. They've conducted the ritual before. I have seen the evidence, the distinctive symbols carved into the floors, the art displayed on the inner chamber's walls. They've created the elixir before, and they will again, if I can convince them. I sent Amelia a message straight away. I want her by my side for this discovery.
Dad was looking for an elixir. Was it the elixir of life? This is my handiwork. I used to love drawing pictures of tigers. Spent so many hours in here, reading, dreaming of my own adventures.
For God's sake, memorize the combination, you fool. Lara's expedition treasure, my favorite painting by Amelia, the day of our wedding anniversary.
So there we go, that's the combination safe.
Okay, got to find those objects to figure out the combination to the safe. Dad's lighter. I don't remember him ever using it, though. The Croft family crest and initials BC. I wonder if this belonged to my grandfather.
Alright, there we go. We have the lighter
Should be
now.
able to light the fireplace now.
Amelia's journals, the journey. I always accepted that Richard's rather unorthodox research was just something I had to live with. But this time, the thrill of discovery has taken hold of me. I never imagined I could be drawn in this way. Richard cabled to tell me that he found the monastery. The symbol we deciphered in the scroll was the key to its location. I don't know if I honestly believe that this will lead to the fabled elixir of life, but I can't help but feel that a great secret awaits us there. My brother was threatening to shut down the expedition, but I managed to talk him down for the time being. Now I'm going to meet Richard. I would bring Lara if I could, but she's still too young. She'll be in good hands with Winston, and when we return, her parents might just be a bit more famous.
This music is familiar. It's beautiful. It appears Sir Reginald's helmet fell off. Or didn't I put it back properly?
Sorry, Sir Reginald. The master key.
Took quite a tumble off of this old thing when I was a girl. Still feel it in the shoulder from time to time.
There we go. Push this back over.
Blank, except for the image of a key. I remember this map now. It leads to the master key. We made it with a special kind of invisible ink. It could only be seen with the heat of a fire. I think I stashed one of Winston's master keys in here when I was a kid.
Let's go down.
I can see the map. Looks like the key is hidden under a trunk near the bookcase. X marks the spot, as they say. The master key. This should get me into the West Wing.
Alright. Well, I think we're going to stop there, and I think we'll do another video tomorrow before we... And we'll finally finish this off, just because I'm getting a little tired, and I don't think we're going to be able to finish this really in the next 30 or so minutes. So we grab the master key, and I think that's what we'll do. We'll
All right. This should open most rooms in the manor, including the Forbidden West Wing.
And then when we come back, we'll be able to open up a whole lot more doors. And we'll continue. We'll hopefully get all the relics. We have 27 relics now. We have 19 to 40 documents. And we have all the murals. So, yeah. So we'll keep searching. So that'll be next time. So take care, everybody. I will see you all on the next and final part of the entirety of Rise of Tomb Raider. Thank you guys for joining me, and goodbye.